Hello, hello, hello. It's that time again for another top 5 video. Today we're going to be going over the top 5 most devastating salvos in World of Warships. This is going to be in particular order. So if you guys have your own opinions on what top 5 ships have the most devastating salvos in World of Warships, let me know down in the comments. There will be honorable mentions as well. But let's get started. So the first ship that's going to be my number 5 is going to be the Oregon. The main reason why for the Oregon is, well, one, it's experimental ship, so it has that special AP when you have the F key, and it also has a burst fire. So you have Georgia guns with the special AP that has better penetration and ricochet angles, and with the burst fire, which makes it extremely powerful. Uh, it really just wreaks havoc on battleships and cruisers alike when you use that burst fire ability. Really, really, really deadly. Definitely what my top 5 for most devastating salvos in this game. But the thing is with this ship, it's not going to last forever. It is going to be disappearing in 14.7 like they said. So yeah, it's a great ship, but it's not going to be here forever because we're about to be on 14.5, I believe, coming up in May. So we got about 2 more months of this ship and then it's gone. All right, so that's my number 5. Number 4, devastating salvos in World of Warships. It's going to be a torpedo boat, and it's going to be a tier 10. You guys can already guess what it is. It's going to be the Yamagiri. The Yamagiri has over, I can't see because I'm blind. It has over 18 torpedoes and 1 full salvo. And when you build into it, the torpedoes can do like 27,000 damage. They do an insane amount. And you have 16 torpedoes. One torpedo launcher is enough to kill a battleship. And then you got 2 more of them. So yeah, so I can see why people like playing Yamagiri. It's just such a devastating salvo with the torpedoes. And you get to choose between 2. You get the 12 kilometer and then you have the 8 kilometer. But of course I go with the 12 kilometer. Extremely deadly. You can also switch between the 2 torpedo types. One that does more damage and shorter range. And you can do one that's longer range and they don't I thought that they did different damages. No, they don't. Okay, so apparently you can just change the distance and they do the same amount of damage, just one is slightly faster and has worse attackability than the other one. Okay, all right, interesting, because I always thought that between these two, one does worse damage than the other, but apparently they do the exact same amount of damage. It's just that the 20 kilometer ones have worse detection and slower, while the ones that are shorter range are faster and have a better detectability range, so it's harder to dodge those torpedoes. Okay, that's an interesting fact. I didn't know that. Well, you learn something new every day. All right, so this is my number 4 pick. Let me know what you guys think so far on this list. Number 3 is going to be another super ship. It's going to be the Maine. The Maine has 16 406 millimeter guns that do a pretty decent chunk with the AP, with a nice reload as well when you build into it. Yeah, this ship is a monstrosity for punishing enemy ships. Broadside, angled, bow in, aft, it don't matter. You get hit by one of these salvos, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. The Maine is available. Oh, I forgot to say that as well. The Yamagiri is available in the tech tree. Maine is also available in the tech tree if you have access to the super ships, which I believe you have to have 3 research lines done to be able to get access to the super ships. I know that's 5 for the research bureau, but it's 3 for the super ships. So if you want to get it, sure. It's a lot of fun to play. The AP is really good. HE is really good at long distance as well. So pretty fun to play. Pretty giant salvo. Can dev site cruisers and battleships if they're not careful. Battleships less likely just due to the fact that they have more armor. If you do so happen to do a drive-by in this ship, it can get citadel pretty easily if you're not careful. So definitely take a note of that, because you do have to show a lot of side to use all your guns. So definitely be careful in that regard, because if you're not, you're going to get dev struck yourself, even though you do have a lot of HP and also very nice torpedo protection as well. It's very, very hard to kill. It's probably one of the top tankiest super ships in the game, or tankiest ships in the game. But that'll be for another video. All right, so this is my number 3. All right, number 2 for most devastating salvos in World of Warships. It has to be on here. It's going to be the Colombo. Colombo's sap, it's not the AP that really sets this ship apart. It's the sap. The AP is decent on its own, but the sap just brings this ship to a whole nother level, and that's why it's banned in competitive. It has 16 381mm guns, where they have both sap and AP. And the real thing about this ship is that sap, doesn't work the same as AP. It's pretty much HE shells, but it's pretty much AP shells, not HE. It's AP shells with way better ricochet angles and less penetration. So they're way more likely to arm, and they're more likely to pin, even on an angled target. So they're pretty much, that's why they're called, they're SAP, they're semi-armor piercing rounds. It's essentially HE shells that slightly go inside the ship and then explode. They don't go all the way through like AP does. So you have way more likely chance of arming in ships and doing way more damage. That's why normally, like whenever I was playing this ship in competitive, like clan battles, I would consistently do 20,000, 15,000 damage to enemy battleships, to their superstructures, upper decks. It would just do a massive amount of damage no matter what. And it's just the pure volume of the number of guns and how hard hitting the sap is. Because if you see, the sap does 12,000 damage when it arms, and if the main thing about sap is that it's very dependent upon how saturated a target is. So normally your first few cells will do a lot of damage, and then as someone's health gets lower and lower, it's going to do less damage over time. Now, if they're consistently healing, you're going to do big chunks on the areas that have less saturation, and that's going to be a consistent key throughout. That's why normally with HE, over time, if you keep farming the same area, you're going to be doing less damage over time. And that's the same thing with SAP. It follows that same kind of rule set with that, for doing less damage over time on more saturated targets. But yeah, Colombo, if you are interested in the Colombo, it is available in the tech tree. I would definitely recommend the legendary mod, the improved rangefinders. This makes your dispersion way more accurate, and you have a slightly faster reload time. Really, really useful to get the full utility of this ship. It is available in the research bureau. You have to have 5 researched lines, tech tree lines, to be able to get access to it. So make sure that if you want to get the Colombo and the legendary mod, you need to get access to the research bureau, and you have to get at least 5 tech tree lines, and that's how you do it. It sounds simple enough, but it does take a little bit of time of grinding to do it. It's a lot of fun to play overall. All of these ships that I've mentioned, Oregon, Yamagiri, Maine, Colombo, are all very strong in randoms. In ranked, Oregon is pretty strong in ranked. Yamagiri is as well. Maine, it's iffy on Maine. It can still do really good in ranked. I think so. You know what? Yeah. Maine can do pretty good in ranked as long as it's a lot in there. Yeah, it can do pretty good. Colombo can also do very well in ranked as well as clan battles. All right, so we're now down to, then this was our number 2. Now we're on to our number 1. And I want you guys to type in chat what you think. It's not in chat, the comments. What you think is the top devastating salvo in World of Warships. And before we do that one, we're going to be doing our honorable mentions. So we have 2 honorable mentions. The first one is going to be the Castilla. It's going to be both the Castilla and the Victoria's burst fire. The guns on them are pretty decent on their own, but then when you add that burst fire feature, really just sets this apart from just pure devastating salvo. If you have a Castilla sitting really far back, just farming you with this salvo, it really hurts with the AP. Like, it really does. Broadside, angled, it doesn't really matter what angle you are, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. The Victoria also has a very similar burst fire, and also this guy looks like, if you look at it from right here, this tower, it looks like the Among Us dude. So, Among Us. It is Among Us ship. But the burst fire on the Victoria is also really strong as well. It does make it redo a little bit less damage by 25%, but it doesn't do the fact that you have 9 381mm guns shooting in a very quick succession at you, and it's going to do a lot of damage on your ship. So definitely something you don't want to deal with, and you definitely want to avoid. I don't really see that many Victorias running around, though. It's not really like a big common threat nowadays. Castillas are a little bit more popular, but Victorias, I don't really see them as much. They're not it's not a super popular premium, so nothing really to worry about. All right, so for our number 1 most devastating salvo in World of Warships, it's going to be the Vermont, the legendary brick gaming of World of Warships. This ship, with its monstrosity 12 457mm guns with an extremely long reload, the AP salvo on this thing is one of the best, and the guns always perform extremely well on this ship. It's a lumbering behemoth, not very quick, but it specializes in mid to long range combat with amazing gun accuracy, great heals, and damage control party. It's just a giant gun platform, and anything that gets close to it or anything gets around it, if you're just gonna get slapped. This thing can dev strike cruisers, it can dev strike battleships. It just hurts. It hurts to fight against, it hurts to deal with at all. You have to be very careful when dealing with this ship if you see it on the enemy team. You gotta be very careful, and when you are playing it, everyone's gonna be watching out for your salvos just from the pure volume of damage that these salvos can do. Now, the main downside is this ship is also its guns, which it has an extremely long reload, so it's very punishing if you miss, if you're not very accurate. So normally, I don't recommend this ship to a lot of players until they've got a few lines down their belt, because you have to be really good at aiming consistently, or you're not going to be doing any damage at all, and you're just going to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs while you're getting farmed out from either being too aggressive or being too far back or just not hitting your shots. So, but yeah. That's my top 5, though, for most devastating salvos. I was also considering putting in a submarine into it, just because of the fact that the Gato can dev strike battleships on its own with its torpedoes. It's the only sub that can, besides the I-56, but this ship is a little bit better at doing it. These torpedoes just do a massive amount of damage. Oh, sorry, it's these ones. Yeah, they do a massive amount of damage, and you get 10 of them. So you can launch the ones off the front, which is 6, and then you got the ones off the rear, which is 4. So you can launch 10 torpedoes at a battleship and essentially just kill it. And there's not much they can do. As long as you play it properly, it can do amazing. I was considering doing, like, the super CVs, but I feel like that's kind of cheesy. because they have like the special torpedoes that just nuke anything. The Nakhimov also has extremely strong torpedoes as well. FDR does as well. The pure volume of torpedoes that this thing does at you in one run is pretty massive. But I feel like Nakhimov, with its quick action squads, is also a pretty big contender for biggest salvos. But it's not really it's more like pecking at you over time, you know what I mean? So it's not the same as like just doing big damage. So if you're looking for some really heavy hitting ships in this game to play that just do massive amount of damage at once, then the top 5 list is definitely going to be for you. But if you guys think I missed any ships, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But thank you all for watching, and let me know what you guys think of my new Tuesday, Thursday video upload schedule. I've been uploading a lot of shorts on YouTube recently. It's been doing pretty well. I've been doing the how to ships on Saturday, as long as my editor is able to do it. And in that particular video, like the how to ship videos, in the comments, I do read your guys' comments in there, and I do take ship my game just froze. So well, I guess that's the end of today's video. I will talk to you all later. Deuces.